As we know, charity begins at home. So before we go running to try and change the world, let's work on ourselves, on our families, and our friend circles. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. When we reflect on the advent of the Holy Imam, many think that the environment we live in has to become much more difficult than what it is right now for the Imam to reappear. Some people say that it will be unbearable to practice our religion, where people will see the lovers of the Ahlul Bayt being persecuted in every locality around the world. Then and then alone will the Imam reappear. I find two issues with such an outlook. The first is that such a view is void of the current situation of Muslims around the world. Today there are already pockets, cities, and in some instances entire countries where Muslims are oppressed greatly. Places where pronouncing your love for the Ahlul Bayt means that you won't get a job. You'll be pushed out of society. In some instances imprisoned, that it's even led to the death of others. The idea that such an environment must exist in every place in the world before the Imam comes is false. It's already taking place. The second issue I have with such an outlook is that it subliminally defers the reappearance of the Imam. It pushes it to a later date. One who is actively awaiting the Imam, as is our duty, such a person truly believes, and you see it in their words and their actions, and they pray for him to reappear right now. They want it to happen at this very moment in time. When somebody yearns to meet someone they've lost, not a second goes by, not an hour goes by, but that you think of that person. You live in their presence, knowing very well that they could open the door at any time, and therefore you make sure that you're always looking beautiful. In the same way, if we are certain that the Imam can come at this very moment in time, we should realize that it's this very soul that will be presented to the Imam. If we procrastinate and we say, I have a few years, then that procrastination may lead us to being alive when the Imam reappears, but with this very own soul that we haven't had time to change yet, because we kept pushing it till tomorrow. If we understand that none of us has time on our side, and such a person lives in the presence of the Imam, knowing that the Imam will see this soul, and every moment that he lives, he'll be working to perfect himself, to better himself. Having understood that, I wish to touch upon a hadith from our fifth holy Imam, to give us something practical to begin to implement if we're not already doing so. The fifth Imam says, when the Imam reappears, you'll see this friendship come about, where a man will go to his brother, he'll take what he needs, and he won't be prevented from doing so. His brother won't prevent him. Such brotherhood, sisterhood, unity between the Muslim Ummah can only prevail if we love one another for the sake of Allah. Do we not understand that the Imam requires a network of people in order to propagate the religion of Islam and for his mission? From our side, we can start by bringing together lovers of Allah and lovers of the Ahlul Bayt. As we know, charity begins at home. So before we go running to try and change the world, let's work on ourselves, on our families, and our friend circles. Let's work to eradicate jealousy from our relationships. Let's put aside pride. Let's have a good opinion of one another. Let's forgive easily. Let's mend any broken bridges. We're all on this journey to Allah together. No one knows who's closer. We need to lay foundations in our friend circles, in our families, such that we love one another for the sake of Allah. We assist one another in getting closer to Allah. We correct one another in helping each other to become a better companion of the Imam, because he may come at this very moment in time. I'd like to ask each and every one of us to do something to cultivate these relationships, but at the same time contemplate on the Imam's reappearance. Let's try and spend at least 10 minutes going through Dua Nudba with either our spouse, our children, or a group of friends this Friday. Read a few lines of the dua, discuss it if you can, speak about our relationship with the Imam and how we're working on improving it, and then try and continue this gathering on a weekly basis. Especially if you have children, make it something they look forward to. Give your 10-minute seating a name, like companions of the Imam. Set aside a specific time on Friday where you gather together in order to cultivate godly relationships, for this is what the Imam requires from us.